Yo, LangChain just put the final nail in the coffin for visual builders, and it's a complete game changer because they explicitly said they are not another workflow builder. And this is happening. This is huge. This finally means the market is correcting itself. And so before you build your AI agent foundations on n8n, OpenAI Visual Builder, Zapier, or any other no-code tools, watch this video. We're actually entering the next phase of AI agencies, and which is not a bad thing. So by the end of this video, I'll show you exactly why even automation experts are switching to the augmentation paradigm. I'm going to give you a framework to help you map your problems and adapt to the next frontier. So let's get started.
In Langsmith, the agent engineering platform, we're launching Agent Builder, a no-code way to turn natural language ideas into production agents. Say the goal is a daily briefing that checks your calendar, researches attendees, and sends a morning Slack. Agent Builder drafts the prompt, sets a schedule, picks tools, and even spins up sub-agents. If it doesn't get it right on the first try, you can make edits directly or use our agent optimizer to auto-suggest improvements. Agent Builder comes with support for adding custom tools, tool auth, and human-in-the-loop approvals. Check out Langsmith Agent Builder. Production-ready agents, zero code.
Here's what happened. Langsmith just recently dropped their new Agent Builder tool, and they specifically called out the visual workflow builders, and rightfully so, because if you've been thinking outside the box and if you've been digging a little bit in the space, you'll understand that they have some major flaws, and which is a big problem with these workflow builder tools. They're not really low barrier to entry, and complex tasks quickly get too complicated to manage in a visual builder. I'm going to help you think about the problem space and how to basically map your problems so that you don't end up getting trapped into automation tool to build your agents for more complex tasks. Now, LangChain isn't a simple startup. They've been building AI agents alongside millions of developers for 3 years, and they just validated what we've been talking about in our channel for the last year or so. And if you've been using the visual workflow builders and you hit the limitations, this probably is going to be a great fit for you. What's really happening? The summer peak is behind us. AI startups getting burned, building products that demo well but break in production. And let's be honest, clients are getting smarter. They're not just buying tools anymore. They want AI partners, not subcontractors or freelancers or AI automation agencies. They actually want people to understand and solve their business problems. Now, the real issue is most AI companies are jumping into agent territory without mapping the problem correctly. They're building complex agentic solutions for simple automation problems, trying to solve complex business challenges with basic chatbots. Abraham Lincoln said it the best: "Give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and I will spend the first 4 sharpening the axe." So what is the problem statement that these no-code workflow builders solve? And what is LangChain getting at? Their main motivations are because most companies are resource constrained on engineering talent, and non-technical users are the ones who actually know what agents to build, what they should do. So think about the domain experts. So a lot of domain experts do not necessarily know how to code, and that's why a lot of these no-code builders are actually very attractive to these users. And the motivation comes from enabling everyone in the organization to build their own apps and widgets without support from engineering. So this is a great problem they're solving. Here's when LangChain understands that most agencies don't, that agents need to be closed loop system. That means it needs to continuously learn and evolve. It needs to adapt, learn from its decision and patterns. Visual workflow builders like n8n, Make, or even OpenAI Visual Builder is an open loop system, at least for now. Now, don't get me wrong, these no-code builder tools are amazing, especially when you're doing automations or you're doing simple workflows. But when you're actually building complex agents, when your system becomes really complicated and it gets harder for you to manage, you become something I call human out of the loop, right? You no longer have the bandwidth to manage all this workflows. and then it becomes a problem. So this complexity requires a different paradigm. So again, not every problem needs an agent, not every problem needs an automation. So it is important to understand the problem space. And I'm going to give you a framework to map your problem in the right quadrant so you can decide which problem needs simple automation, which problem needs agentic intelligence. I'm also going to give you a map to help you diagnose what stage you're on, and how to move to the next one if you're hitting limitation. Hey, you probably experienced this. You started with the n8n workflow, looks great in the demo, but when your client wants agents to remember context, handle edge cases, adapt over time, suddenly you're connecting dozens of nodes, creating spaghetti workflows that break when you need them the most. So here's the thing, agents need to be closed loop systems. They observe, act, learn, and adapt. Visual builders like n8n, they're open loop. Every time they run, they start from scratch with no memory of what happened before. It's like having an employee who shows up with complete amnesia. Now, Langsmith gets this. They're pushing all the complexity into the prompt, the language layer that actual intelligence lives, not into the visual workflow spaghetti. That means you can't drag and drop your way into organizational intelligence. Understand, if you've been hitting limitations with your automation tools, it's more likely you need to move to the next stage. And if this is you, then we have more resources for you. Now, this creates a massive opportunity for AI startups and AI agencies who get it right. Here's the key. You need to first determine what core problem the business actually needs to solve. Most AI companies are building solutions in search of problems. They're either stuck in the automation paradigm with the visual builders, or they're jumping straight to complex agents without understanding the business context. This is going to give you a visual map of the stage you're on in your AI journey. So if you are a ChatGPT consultant, you understand how to use different tools, then you're more likely in the first one. And if you're a little bit more technical, then you've mastered some automation, you're good at prompt engineering, then you're on the second one. Now, the problem with the second one, sure, you can do things faster, but you're still doing things blindly. You're not adapting, you're not learning from the intelligence, you're not building on top of the insights. So that is one of the limitations here. And as it gets complex, it becomes harder to manage. So this also gave rise to the vibe culture, where a lot of people are building things without understanding the architecture. So you'll see characters like the Stack Overflowing dude, the n8n guru, or the Vector DB bro, whose workflows are adapting faster than they can learn. Even Google search trends shows this shift, where a lot of people conflate AI agents with n8n, and the market is now telling us where it should be going, and is finally correcting itself. Now, there's a framework I use to map problems in the right quadrant, and it tells you exactly the mix of automation versus augmentation is appropriate for your specific problem. So simple problems use best practices and basic automations. Complex problems, you need experimentation, adaptive agents, and more importantly, you need an AI thought partner who understands your business problem and know exactly how to solve it. I'm going to give away this assessment and the framework for free. The link is going to be in the description. Most AI startups treat everything like it's simple. Just use the LLM for everything, then wonder why their solutions don't stick in production. And if you're building an AI company and you want to understand where you actually are in the landscape, if you want to map your problems, the right solutions, instead of building demos that break in production, join us. Link is going to be in the description. I'm also going to link a few popular videos from my channel if you want to learn a few advanced techniques for RAG implementations using vector database or knowledge graphs. We're going to have more content on that. And watch this video to understand why most AI agent frameworks are going to fail and what you should do instead. And if you're still struggling with frameworks and understanding what quadrant to map your problem in, or perhaps you need help or guidance to choose your RAG implementation setup, book a call with me. I'm going to put a link in the description. I hope this video was helpful, my friends, so you understand how the market is changing, correcting, and adapting. So make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and the notification bell. If you're ready to go to the next level, drop the silly chatbots, drop the rigid automation, and unleash the full potential of your AI agents.